In the heart of America's labor movement, one man rose from the working class to command an empire of millions. His name was Jimmy Hoffa, a symbol of power, loyalty, and controversy. But on a quiet summer afternoon in 1975, Hoffa vanished without a trace, leaving behind a mystery that still haunts the nation half a century later. Jimmy Hoffa was one of the most powerful and controversial labor leaders in American history. His name became synonymous with the rise of the American labor movement, and with its darker ties to organized crime. Hoffa was born on February 14, 1913, in Brazil, Indiana. His father, a coal miner, died when Jimmy was only 7 years old. The hardship of his childhood taught Hoffa the importance of solidarity among workers.
In his teenage years, Hoffa began working in warehouses and loading docks, where he quickly became known for his leadership skills. By his early 20s, Hoffa had joined the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, a union representing truck drivers and transport workers. His charisma and organizational talent helped him climb the ranks rapidly. Hoffa understood the fears, dreams, and anger of the working class like few others.
By the 1950s, Hoffa had become the face of the Teamsters, the largest and most influential labor union in the United States. But with great power came great scrutiny. The Teamsters, under Hoffa's leadership, were accused of connections to the Mafia. Hoffa always denied any wrongdoing, claiming his actions were only to protect his members' interests. Despite allegations, his popularity among working-class Americans remained immense. In 1957, Hoffa officially became the president of the Teamsters Union. That same year, U.S. Senate hearings began investigating corruption in labor unions. The hearings, famously led by Senator John McClellan and Robert Kennedy, made Hoffa a national headline. Hoffa and Kennedy became bitter rivals, each determined to defeat the other. Kennedy accused Hoffa of using union funds for personal gain and mafia deals. Hoffa fought back fiercely, calling Kennedy's investigation a political witch hunt. Despite the controversies, Hoffa remained a symbol of labor's power and independence. But in 1967, his empire began to crumble. Hoffa was convicted of bribery and fraud and sentenced to 13 years in prison. He began serving his sentence at Lewisburg Federal Penitentiary in 1967. Even behind bars, Hoffa remained influential, communicating with union leaders through visitors and letters. In December 1971, President Richard Nixon granted Hoffa a commutation of his sentence. The condition of his release forbade Hoffa from union activity until 1980, but Hoffa was determined to regain his old position and influence. Many of his former allies, however, had moved on or joined forces with organized crime leaders who wanted him gone. On July 30, 1975, Hoffa was last seen outside the Machus Red Fox restaurant in Bloomfield Township, Michigan. He had gone there to meet two Mafia-linked figures, Anthony Tony Jack Giacalone and Anthony Tony Pro Provenzano. Witnesses saw Hoffa waiting in the parking lot around 2:45 p.m. He was never seen again. When Hoffa didn't return home, his family quickly alerted the police. Investigators found his car parked outside the restaurant, but no trace of Hoffa. The case quickly became one of the most sensational disappearances in American history. The FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in its history. Over the years, multiple theories emerged about what happened to Hoffa. Some believe Hoffa was killed by the Mafia to prevent his comeback to the Union. Others suggest he was buried under the concrete of a Detroit construction site. A popular rumor claimed his body was hidden beneath the Giants Stadium in New Jersey. None of these theories were ever proven. The FBI officially closed the case in 2006, declaring it unresolved. Yet Hoffa's disappearance continues to fascinate journalists, historians, and filmmakers to this day. For many, Hoffa symbolizes both the strength and corruption of 20th century American labor. He was a man of contradictions, loyal and ruthless, heroic and flawed. Even decades after his disappearance, the question remains unanswered. What really happened to Jimmy Hoffa? His story endures as one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. And though the man vanished, the legend of Jimmy Hoffa lives on. Decades have passed, yet the question remains, what really happened to Jimmy Hoffa? If you found this story as compelling as we did, subscribe for more true crime documentaries and untold mysteries.